history is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
Causing the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling them.
This is the first time they unloaded. Send us some of your pictures.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 4.
Now at 4, Houston votes. People head to the polls for Super Tuesday. We have team coverage on the lines and races.
Plus, a former HPD officer now facing serious charges. The disturbing details on the sexual assault allegations against him. So we begin with Decision 2020 as we're only hours away from the polls closing in our state. Several local races as well as the presidential primaries in Texas. Voters lining up at polling locations all around the area for the Texas primaries. Good afternoon. I'm Lauren Freeman.
And I'm Keith Garvin. We begin our team coverage with Bill Barajas, who's been looking into any issues voters are facing while they are at the polls. Bill.
Well, some of those complaints have been long lines, not enough machines, and the changing of polling locations. Fallbrook Church, where we're at right now, no different. The Harris County Clerk's Office telling us so. Those were decisions made by both parties. The issue here in Fallbrook, according to some voters, was the amount of voting machines for Democrats. Some voters claim they waited hours before casting their ballot.
It can be frustrating and turn people away, but I was one to stick it out. And I'm also one of those I'm here on lunch. So again, I came 3 hours running back. So it's pretty difficult.
Another claimed her polling location was closed, causing hundreds of voters to visit the same location and deal with extended wait times.
We don't have enough booths, and there were not enough help with the elderly, and that is a disgrace.
Republican voters say they were in and out.
Hey, easy.
We asked the Harris County Clerk's Office about the problem. They said the voting locations and the number of voting machines was a decision made by both parties. For example, if one location had 10 Republican machines, they would also have 10 Democratic machines. The Harris County Clerk's Office says they are administering the election, but they are not making decisions on locations or voting machines. And right now, it seems the lines have died down a bit. I went inside, and again, the lines have died down. Folks still have about 3 hours to try and get here to vote, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Reporting live, Bill Barajas, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Sir, taking a look now at some Texas congressional races. A seat is up for grabs in District 22. On the Republican side, there are 15 candidates hoping to take the top spot. Switching sides, there are only 4 Democratic candidates hoping to clinch that seat.
Among the key races tonight is the Democratic presidential primary, as Texas and more than a dozen other states will pick who they think should represent the Democratic Party in the general election. Channel 2's Sion Rhodes is live now in East Houston with more on this. Sion?
And Lauren, we know Texas is the second biggest delegate prize on the table today. It's going to be a battle between Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. Of course, the Sanders campaign hoping that they are the big winners tonight. Senator Sanders has led every poll in Texas so far, but his margin has lessened, and it's not as wide as it once was. The campaign, though, says they're not taking the state for granted. At the headquarters here on East Side today, volunteers have been gathering, picking up literature, hitting the streets, and knocking on as many doors as they can, trying to garner those last-minute votes before the polls close tonight. The team banking on support from groups that they say often feel marginalized.
The thing about Bernie is he excites the young voters, and he excites so many of the Latinx community that have not had their voices heard, so many communities of color that haven't had their voices heard, and those are the people that are going to turn out in Texas to basically win it for Bernie.
The campaign saying that no one can match their ground game, so they're hoping that helps tonight. And the big question for tonight, with major implications, should Sanders become the nominee, will he be able to win in the Houston suburbs? Analysts say those are places where he will likely face a lot more competition from Biden, Bloomberg, and Warren. Reporting live, Sion Rhodes, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Sion, thank you. And Sky 2 now live over one of the voting locations in our area. This is a polling location in Sunnyside as the polls will close at 7 p.m.
And we want to make sure that you have the information you need for Super Tuesday. That's why KPRC is partnering with Telemundo and the League of Women Voters in Houston to host an election phone bank. This is a live look from our lobby right now, and you can see that operators are there standing by to take your calls. English and Spanish speakers are available. Those phone numbers are there on the bottom of your screen.
And now to a story we've been following all day long. A police chase ends with 5 people going to the hospital.
Police say this all started with 3 people in a stolen car, 2 teens and a young child. This happened in the area of Scott Street and Tristan. Channel 2's Taisha Walker's live downtown with an update now on one of those teenagers. Taisha?
Lauren, that teen accused of stealing the car is now being charged as an adult. We're expecting him to come here to the jail downtown once he is released from the hospital. Newly obtained surveillance video shows the moment Humberto Alvarez pulled up to a convenience store in Sunnyside shortly after midnight. While he's inside the store grabbing a drink, the 3 children he left inside of his running vehicle drove off. Shortly before, Alvarez says they walked up to his car asking for a ride.
You wouldn't expect them to take your car.
The camera then shows Alvarez returning to the spot he left his car, but it was gone. While he was inside calling police, officers spotted his stolen car and tried to pull it over. But the 17-year-old driver led officers on a 100-mile-per-hour chase. The car only stopping when it crashed into the car that Sharon Davis and Kenneth Collins were in. Kenneth's brother says he's not able to speak and is in the ICU.
He got bleeding on the brain, and he's got a fractured neck, a broken left leg.
Sharon's family says she has several brain injuries and broken bones. Sean Tier with the Harris County District Attorney's Office says a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, and a child under 12 were in the stolen car. All were taken to the hospital. But 17-year-old Nathan Christian has now been charged as an adult and could face more than 100 years in prison if convicted. Yeah, to go through those charges, 4 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of endangering a child, and another count for evading arrest. Reporting live from downtown, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Taisha, thank you. Well, at least 23 people are dead after a string of tornadoes struck across Tennessee overnight, including in Nashville. Dozens of homes and buildings were left destroyed. Power lines across counties are down, leaving thousands without power. Right now, search and rescue teams are working to find several people still reported missing. The president has announced FEMA already on the ground and that he will visit the area on Friday. And right now, our very own Channel 2 reporter Roseanne Aragon is in Nashville to bring you a live report from the area. We'll hear from her on the recovery efforts starting at 6 o'clock tonight. Here in our area, chance of rain and even more rain to come.
Let's get you straight over to Frank for the very latest on our forecast.
Well, it was foggy this morning. That burned up, but we still have that threat for tonight. So especially down in Galveston, it's so warm out there. Temperatures this afternoon, 78, 79 right now. We may end up topping out at 80 degrees. Visibilities are okay. 6 miles in Galveston, the low spot. But as time goes on, watch out. There's already a dense marine fog advisory until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that fog's going to be there. Not much rain. If you're headed to the rodeo, we're in good shape. shape. Warm, cloudy skies is about it. These showers, in fact, are dropping next to nothing, maybe a spritz on the windshield, and that's it. That's the system to watch, the one in El Paso. Let me give you a FutureCast. We'll go close in coming up in our main weather, but you can see this area continues to push right across. There's the front with it. Tomorrow, right around noon, continues to push in with scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon, even some rains into tomorrow night. So it's going to be a wet Wednesday. This green area indicates a low risk, but some risk for severe weather. So that's what we're going to watch for Wednesday. Specifically, I'm expecting gusts of 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, especially with those thunderstorms coming through in the afternoon. Pea to quarter size hail is possible. Tornadoes, this doesn't look like that set up for us, so it's not likely, but we'll keep a close eye on that. 1 to 2 inches of rain and then a low threat as far as any flooding is concerned. So coming up, we'll talk more about the fog and the visibility forecast. I'll have that timeline specifically for your neighborhood and how much rain I'm expecting for every part of the area, especially north of I-10. That's straight ahead. Keith?
We'll see you again shortly, Frank. Thank you. Well, the coronavirus crisis is causing people to take extra precautions around the Houston area. Dozens of people are loading up on water in the event they get sick and can't leave their homes. This was at Costco. In the meantime, this is what it looked like at Sam's Club. Customers standing in long lines with supplies piled high in their carts. And with the growing fear surrounding the coronavirus, we have a couple of updates for stories we have brought you here locally.
First, Rice University announced today that it will suspend all international spring break trips and international student travel. The university also asked any students who travel for personal reasons to countries with medium to high risk levels to self-isolate and stay away from campus for 2 weeks after returning. A Houston couple who were on board a cruise ship that suffered a major outbreak of the virus have returned home finally. Terry and David Field were being held after the mayor of San Antonio issued an emergency order asking evacuees to remain quarantined. Now today, the couple is back in their Houston home. As for the first day of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, organizers are reminding Houstonians that staying healthy is top priority. Extra hand washing and sanitizing stations have been placed around the grounds for this year.
People, of course, heading out to the rodeo for day one of the annual event at NRG.
Several events happening there now. Our Christine Noel and Houston Life Derek Shore are out at the rodeo with more. You guys look great.
Oh my goodness, and we are having so much fun already. This is your second rodeo.
Yes, my second rodeo. My first day at KPRC last year was first day of rodeo, so I feel a little bit like a veteran now, only I feel like we were putting our hats on backwards.
Yeah, you're already a pro.
We are so excited. It's so much energy out here already.
Well, and we happen to be, by the way, at one of the cutest events here at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Let's bring in Zach Johnson. He is also known as the Swine Master because for 22 years, he has been racing little pigs. So how did this all begin for you?
Well, I couldn't afford a NASCAR. I thought I wanted to race something, so I had some pigs in the backyard. I said, let's go try pig racing, and it took on, and then it's good.
And you have little Honey Boo Boo here.
This is Honey Boo Boo, that's right. She's our little picture pig. If you come to the show, you can hold Honey Boo Boo after the show and get a portrait or a picture with Honey Boo Boo.
A porkture, I get it. And the celebrity names, by the way, for these pigs, there's Kim Kardashian Ham.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian Ham, Britney Spare Ribs, Brad Pig, Kevin Bacon. Well, all the big name stars are right here and right now, so come on and check them out.
Okay, so when these pigs start running, they're running after something. What's the treat at the end of the race?
They race a 150-foot track for an Oreo cookie. Well, a quarter of an Oreo cookie because you don't want them to get too, you know. You want to keep them on a little bit of a diet, but
sounds like a good prize to me. I'd race that far for an Oreo. Well, listen, right now it's quiet in here, but at 4:30, the races happen every hour on the half hour. This place will be packed. We watched the last race. How do you feel about giving us just a special little? Oh, here they come!
Here we go.
And here they. Let me step out of the way so you can see.
Off. Oh, look at them go! Look at them go!
Looks like Kim Kardashian Ham is running around the track. Britney Spare Ribs.
Britney Spare Ribs for the win.
Folks, do you see what we mean? I mean, cute as can be.
Yes. Kim Kardashian Ham by a snout, yeah.
By a snout. Right. Zach Johnson, thank you so much. Honey Boo Boo, thank you so much.
We'll see you in a little while, sweetheart.
We'll see you at 4:30.
Also, we have some awesome new merchandise this year as well. We want to show you over here, all set up. This is exactly just for Houston Rodeo this year.
Yeah, the official Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo merchandise. You can find it in NRG Center inside. They have a store set up. Also online at rodeohouston.com. They've got some new T-shirts, the badge holders. Obviously, the badges are a big deal here at Rodeo, and the badge holder has to be up to snuff, Christine.
I love it so much. So again, the pig races are going to be happening again in just about a half hour from now, and then every hour on the half hour. So it's the coolest thing I've ever seen, I think, and I'm really, really excited to see it again.
Mutton Bustin' is next door, by the way. There's some great carnival food. We're going to be here for the next few hours, Christine. We're going to see what other kind of fun we can get into. Guys, back to you.
All right, pigs in T-shirts. You can't beat it, right?
I know, I like that. And mutton busting across
Yes.
the way. My son rode a Lamborghini there one year. Yeah, we'll see if that lands.
Yeah, all sorts of fun out there. Okay. All right, a new ad featuring Texan star J.J. Watt.
Coming up, the Subway ad that also stars Watt's family.
But first, look at some of your traffic times. Right now, it is looking decent in most directions. 34 minutes if you're headed up to the Woodlands on the North Freeway. If you're headed to LaPorte on 225, an easy 16 minutes. And down to Pearland, just 21 minutes on 288 from downtown Houston. And we want to let you know about our new traffic page at click2houston.com. It's called What's Driving Houston. It includes a section answering questions you may have about traffic in our area, as well as a chance to get our weekly newsletter with information on weekend construction. You can visit our page by going to click2houston.com/traffic.
2.
All right, spring warmth again, but also some clouds.
Yes, and I want to mention those Nashville tornadoes again.
Yes.
It's interesting. Coming up in our next half hour, I'm going to show you the path of those tornadoes. But to the south was the Nashville airport and was not hit. To the north was the Grand Ole Opry and was not hit. So it went kind of like right in between those. Right. I know.
And 22 people dead. I mean,
it's awful. It's awful. And in the middle of the night, which is always a problem because people go to bed at 10 and 10:30 and they think we're okay.
Dead asleep. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't hear warnings if there were any.
Yeah.
Tough stuff. So, okay, well, we're in better shape. We do have a storm system coming our way tomorrow. We're going to talk about pollen counts. Not too bad for most areas, but the oak tree continues to be in the heavy range. That's no big surprise. Those little catkins are everywhere, aren't they? 78 right now. 68% the humidity. Winds are southeast at 10. You can see a bit of a shaky camera there, so we've got a little breeziness going on. Galveston was really socked in with the fog this morning, so this is a lot better than you were, but I think it's all going to come right back as we get to 6, 7 o'clock this evening. So get ready for that. In fact, temperatures right now 71 with a dew point of 67. Humidity's way up here, so that's ripe for the fog to form. Upper 70s elsewhere. We'll get the highs in the next half hour, probably 80, 81 degrees in spots, but it was certainly on the warm side. The dew points are in the mid and upper 60s, so it won't take long to get a bit of fog across the area once again tonight, especially with these winds. Not even that strong, 10, 13, 14 miles an hour, so in some areas you're getting a gust or two. We have 6-mile-an-hour visibility in Galveston, 8 in Anahuac, 7 in Dayton. Forecast is by the time we continue to get through the evening hours, all of this continues to crater a bit. So overnight, we could certainly get back down to half-mile, 1, 2-mile visibility. So we will watch for that. Then we have this system coming in, which will actually clear all of that out of here. But we got to get through Wednesday for that to happen. The low's back in El Paso. That's going to continue to slide our way. So here's a look at the FutureCast, and you can see the heavy showers by the time we get to tomorrow morning. That's 6 a.m. They're up around Waco and back towards San Angelo, and then the front trying to push down through Pleasanton. So what we have going on is just a messy commute. So there's 6 a.m. I'd count on extra time between the fog and the light rain. Then that begins to increase, especially in the afternoon. There's the front itself, that yellow line moving through about noon, and with it showers and thunderstorms. So as this all slides across, this is widely scattered. So not looking for this huge event of this big line of storms coming through, but we get the front and then scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go through the day on Wednesday and even into Wednesday night. That's 10:30. We still have some rain that's going to continue to be pushing across. Then it all clears Thursday. So it's Wednesday is the big day. As far as rain amounts, those are not terribly impressive. Up to the north, maybe an inch of rain at Huntsville. There could also be some isolated 1.5, 2 inch amounts, but generally half an inch to an inch north. We get into town about a half an inch, third of an inch to a half an inch of rain, and down to the south, quarter of an inch to maybe a half an inch of rain. So less and less as we go south of I-10. There's still the threat of not just the rain, but the gusty winds, some small hail, and always we can get 2 inches of rain quickly. We can see some street flooding, so we'll watch for that. Here's the bigger picture. That low moves in, and then by Thursday, it is moving on out. Behind it, we've got clear skies and cool weather. Nice weather for Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday and Sunday. This high starts to return a warmer flow as we head toward the weekend. A little more cloud cover on Sunday, and the chances of rain come back as we head into Monday. Power planner looks like this. 30% chance of rain this evening, goes to 40, and then 50, and then higher as we go, about 80% for tomorrow. breezy and warm, obviously, for the Haircast, and you may see a sprinkle. So 80% chance of rain for tomorrow, 66 and 74, 68 on Thursday, 70 Friday. Into the weekend, 72 and 74. The Roughnecks and the Sabercats are playing the Rockets on Thursday. We spring forward Saturday night into Sunday morning, which means our Sunday sunset is 7:25. Then there's that next chance of rain as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week at 40 and 70%. So rodeo's no problem for tonight, really, just some cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we'll keep a close eye on it. Hopefully any heavy stuff gets out of here before 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow.
You're looking forward to that extra daylight on Sunday.
I like the daylight. I'd like to have more sleep, but I'll take the daylight.
For sure.
Yep.
Thanks, Frank.
Sky News Live now over one of the voting locations in our area. This is a polling location on West Gray. It's always a busy one. You see the long line of people waiting to vote there. The polls will be open until 7 p.m. tonight. We'll be right back.
KPRC Channel 2 News is your home for Decision 2020. This is the live look at our phone bank right now. Operators on standby to answer your questions about Super Tuesday. Both English and Spanish speakers are available. Those phone numbers are on the screen for you. And once again, they are here until 7 o'clock tonight. In today's health headlines, good news for young adults battling cancer. The survival rate among those patients is improving.
That's according to researchers at the American Cancer Society. Researchers looked at more than 280,000 cancer survivors who were between the ages of 15 and 39 over the past 30 years. They found the death rate from all cancers 5 to 10 years after diagnosis decreased 8% to 5%. There were dramatic improvements for those diagnosed with leukemia, breast cancer, and other conditions. Americans are spending billions of dollars treating lower back and neck pain more than any other health condition.
A new study from the University of Washington analyzed the numbers, and out of the 154 conditions studied, back and neck pain generated the highest costs in 2016, topping $134 billion. When combined with other musculoskeletal disorders like arthritis, the total exceeded $380 billion.
Coming up, some new drinks from Starbucks. The new beverages the coffee chain is introducing for spring.
In Texas.
Bumblebee is hoping to make a buzz with its new changes. It is selling microwavable bistro bowls and protein on the run snack packs. They're also launching new flavors. The canned tuna industry has been plagued with scandal, among them a price fixing scheme in which Bumblebee pleaded guilty and paid a $25 million fine. Well, step into spring with some new refreshing drinks from Starbucks.
Coffee chain just announced it is having some new spring seasonal drinks. They include 2 coconut milk drinks. The first one is the iced pineapple matcha green tea shaken with pineapple and ginger. The other one is iced golden ginger drink with turmeric flavors. Also new nitro cold brew topped with salted honey, cold foam, and toasted honey.
You had me at pineapple.
Good.
Yeah, you had me at pineapple matcha.
Yeah, that one sounds good too.
All right, a new ad featuring Texan star J.J. Watt.
Coming up, the ad that also features his mother and brothers.
And here are some live pictures from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo at NRG. Christine and Derek will have another live report in just a few minutes.